Hey, what's up, guys? It's Film Geek here. Yes, my hand is in a splint. Kind of hurt it last night at work, which is awesome because it was my last night of work at this place. Yay me. It's time for this week's stack. So first up, we've got The Virgin Suicides. This movie is directed by Sofia Coppola, who I think is a absolutely terrible director. And what's funny is this is probably the best of her movies that I've ever seen, and it's still very middle of the road. The characters are all fairly flat. The story is kind of interesting, kind of not. The pacing is dreadfully slow, and the ending makes you wondering what the hell just happened here. I give The Virgin Suicides a 2.5 out of 5. Next up, I saw Fear.com. This movie was very much like a combination of The Ring and Untraceable. It was a very unusual pairing of horror and detective work, and it wasn't really all that great. Like, the combination just didn't work at all. I give it a 2 out of 5. It was kind of entertaining, and that's about where the good points ended. Then I saw Gentleman's Agreement, the 1947 Best Picture winner, about a journalist who, for several months, pretends to be Jewish to write a story about anti-Semitism. This movie was actually really damn good. I would have loved to see this movie remade. I want to see this movie remade nowadays. Exact same movie, just with better actors, and maybe a little more intense modern day stuff going on, because I thought that was really all that this movie lacked was intensity. The story was absolutely perfect, and some of the things that happened in it were jaw-dropping, especially even for 1947 standards. I think if it were modernized and maybe made a little bit more brutal, it would have been a perfect film. But because it's 1947, they couldn't really do that yet. A lot of the more intense stuff that happened in this movie happened behind the scenes. I give this movie a 4 out of 5. Then I saw 28 Days with Sandra Bullock. This movie was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. She plays a person who is an alcoholic and goes through like a rehab thing, and it was actually pretty good. I wasn't expecting it to be anywhere near this good, but it was decent acting and okay story, but really great pacing and some good comedy and drama both. I give it a 3 out of 5. Then I saw Hackers, an old 90s, I say old, it was like 20 years ago, 1990s movie with Angelina Jolie, who is hot as always. What was laughable is how outdated this movie is. It's about computer hackers, like top-of-the-line computer hackers, and they're spazzing out over, oh my god, this is so amazing, we have a 28 Mbps modem. Really? 28 Mbps is going to get you a hard-on back in the 90s? Wow, how things have developed quickly. But outdatedness aside, it was still a damn good movie with some good acting, hot Angelina Jolie, good story, cool action, decent comedy. It was just pretty good. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. And then I saw The Last Airbender, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, however you pronounce his last name. I've heard from many people that this is supposed to be like a terrible, terrible movie, but I actually didn't think it was all that bad, although I've also never seen the animated series, Avatar: The Last Airbender, so I don't really have anything to judge from the movie to the source material like most people do. But for me, it was actually a fairly decent movie. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. There was just lots of plot holes, and the action was fucking shit. The action in this movie, like the fight scenes, especially the elemental fight scenes, were so slow. Like, it looked like it was somewhere between regular motion and slow motion, but you could tell by the way the characters were moving that they were moving at a normal pace, and their elements were just really slow in their attack. I give this movie a 2.5 out of 5. Then I saw Going the Distance with Justin Long and oh shit, what's his name? Drew Barrymore. This movie was fucking amazing. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. I thought it was going to be kind of a middle-of-the-road R-rated romantic comedy, kind of like Love and Other Drugs was, but I thought this movie was stellar. Liked it a whole lot, and it's actually going to be in my top 10 list. It actually rearranged my entire top 10 list for 2010 that you'll see a little bit later today, once I make that video. But yeah, Going the Distance was a great movie, and I give it a 5 out of 5. And then finally, I saw Around the World in 80 Days, not the remake with Jackie Chan, but the original from 1956. It was the 1956 Best Picture winner, and this movie was really good. It was extremely long. It was just a little bit over 3 hours, and they could have easily cut that in half. At least cut a half-hour minimum out of it. It had like a 5-minute intermission in the middle. It could have been cut out. Every single establishing shot just dragged on and on and on, and those all could have been cut down much into a tighter sequence as well with a modern-day editor. But despite its slow editing and only decent acting, it was still a really entertaining movie that kept me interested the entire 3 hours. And even though it was 3 hours, it still only felt like maybe 2 hours had gone by. I give 1956's Around the World in 80 Days a 3.5 out of 5, and that's this week's stack. I will see you. I might not be doing a stack next week because I'm going to go on vacation down to Wilmington, North Carolina. If anyone is in the Wilmington area and wants to hang out and go see a movie together, drop me a line right here on YouTube, and I'll see what we can do about hanging out with you down there. Other than that, if I do post a stack video, it'll be on Wednesday. So it'll be a short stack, or I might just wait until the week after next week and just do a full-length stack video. So that's the stack for this week. Stay tuned, because in a little bit you're going to see my top 10 of the year, my bottom 10 of the year, and my top and bottom 50 of the decade. Check it out.